this meeting allows you to encounter today Jesus Christ, this is the true and the real joy for us. Jesus Christ is not an archaeological, first of all, he's not a myth, he's a concrete person, but he's not an archaeological date, so he's still living today. His presence is present now, because he told us, when 2 or 3 are united in my name, I will be together with you. So evangelization is just this thing, just to show you that Christ is among us, and Christ is the Son of God. You know, I studied for years and years all the religions, the history of all the religions, essentially all the religions. But there is no one religion in the world, from the past until today, there is no one religion who said that God became man. Absolutely. The myth, the Greek myth, they can say that, so half and half. For Israel, it's impossible. God is transcendent. For the Muslim, it's transcendent. So you cannot even for the Jewish, they cannot even pronounce the name of God. Cannot. It's a pure transcendence. For us, Christian faith, God became man. This is the great and unique event in our history. So there is a movement going from humanity to God. But in our faith, you know, there is God coming to us. And this is the revolution in the history. Because for us, it is a so great event, it is a so great joy, that we need to participate in it. So we cannot take just for us. The joy is so great that we must communicate. We need to participate in it. I tell you that when the Holy Father in March 2010, I received a call. The secretary of the Holy Father called me and said, well, the Holy Father wants to meet you. I said, what does for me the Holy Father? I cannot tell you. He will speak with you. And I should come to the States this time, same time. I said, well, I must leave. So, well, don't worry. When you come back from the States, so you can imagine my mind all the time. I spoke several times with John Paul II and also with Pope Benedict, but I knew always the content, the topic of our meeting. And so my trip in the States was, what does the Holy Father for me? And I said, well, I should change probably, but what he wants from me? So at the end came the date, and I met the Holy Father, and so invited me to have a seat and so and so. I said, well, how are you? And then the Holy Father told me, I reflect for a lot about the institution of a new dicastery, a new Pontifical Council on new evangelization. And I want that you will be the president. What do you think about it? I said, Holy Father, is a big challenge. It is a big challenge. And I continue to repeat today that evangelization and the new evangelization, so new, old, is the evangelization It is a challenge, believe me, it is a challenge. Especially in this peculiar moment of our history. It's not easy in this time to be Catholic, to be Christian, to be Catholic. It's not very easy. It will not be easy in the future. It will not be easier, absolutely, believe me. Because we are in a peculiar moment of the history, the world history. You know, it's like two tables. This is the end of a period. And this period becomes with the discovery of this great country, modernity, we call that modernity. And we start a new period of the history, and we don't know what will be this period. Someone called post-modernity, but so we don't know the name what will be. I know that we are just in this position, in the middle, between the end of a period and the beginning of a new one. And this is the most difficult moment in the history. It was the same in the Antiquity, because, you know, between Antiquity and the Middle Age, so we have 2 centuries, and we don't know what's happened. It was a transition period. It was the same between the Middle Age and modernity. 150, so 1 century and a half. We are in the same period. So it's a transition. When you have a transition from a period to another one, you know, everything is a doubt, is uncertainty, is a doubt, is confusion. So, and what do we do? What do we do? If we look at people today, and we are these people, we are not outside of the other, we are the same people. And if you look at people, I like walking on the 5th Avenue in these 2 days. I like to walk and to watch people and to say, and to think, what do they think? So they, you know, the 5th Avenue, of course, going here and where. But which kind of direction they will take for their life? You know, this is the same in the States, in Europe, in Latin America, everywhere. We are in a global world, so the culture, it seems to be the same. If we have not a strong identity, we lose ourselves. We don't know what will be our future, believe me. And we must be, on the contrary, we must be very strong in order to have a direction. Because if we have not a direction in our life, we lose ourselves. There is no sense for our life. Why should I love? Why should I suffer? What should I die? There is a life after this life. I mean, there is so many questions in our life. Probably we are so afraid and we don't put anywhere these questions. But they remain. They remain. We love people, and then I am betrayed in my friendship, in my love. So believe what is, think about the time of today. For my generation, come si dice la depression. For my generation, you know, the pathology of depression belongs to the old people. Now, if you check, depression belongs to youth. And that is a drama, believe me, it's a drama, because it doesn't belong to youth to be depressed. Because they must have joy. They need the joy. They must love. They must have an experience of the future. Everything. And today the pathology is depression. That cannot work anymore. Why? Well, I am convinced that one of many other reasons, one is that we put God in a corner and we have no more relationship with religion. If you put away religion from your life, someone else will take the place of God, believe me. And that will be superstition, that will be magic, that will be, I'm sorry to say, but that will be also Satan. In Italy is strange. In one part of North Italy, we are doing, in this time, Lent time, we are doing a mission, peculiar mission for evangelization. Is the city with the most diabolic, satanic sects. Unbelievable for me, unbelievable but true. But if you put God in a corner and you want to live your life without a relation with God, someone else will take his place. So the evangelization, my dear friends, is to be convinced that God is not just beside me, but God, Jesus Christ, with the Eucharist, is inside me. I will be never alone in my life. Never. A Christian cannot be alone in his life. Absolutely. We have a sentence in Italy. I say, we born alone and we will die alone. And I say, well, who was this crazy man saying this sentence? Because it's unbelievable. I came in this world and I was accepted by love of my parents, and I will leave this world, and Jesus Christ will come and will say, do you want to come with me? How in this moment I will be alone? Absolutely, I will not be alone at all. So, in this period in which people is so individualistic, is close in himself, we give an announce of joy, an announce of relationship, an announce to be a community. And this is very important. Identity and the sense of belonging to a community. These are, for me, are two main words for the new evangelization. So the gospel is that you are not alone. And since you are not alone, you must know who you are, you must give a sense of your life. But remember that God never leaves you alone, because it gives you the church, it gives you a community. And this church is your mother. It's not something far away from you. It's your mother, can understand you, and you must love your mother. You cannot love Jesus Christ and you don't care of his mother. Absolutely. You cannot. Because this is not a sign that you love Jesus Christ. If you love Jesus Christ, you should love also his mother. And the church is my mother. So we cannot forget that. So my dear brothers and sisters, since new evangelization, I cannot tell you what new evangelization is, because you are already done, and you will done also better in the future, new evangelization. But just one word, because among all the programs that I appreciate very much, I think that in this peculiar historical moment, the grandparents, they have and they can play a magic role. I believe really that you can have a very, very strong responsibility, because there is, unfortunately, there is a gulf between a generation. And you have the possibility for transmission of faith to your grandchildren. So, and sometimes, you know, parents, they are young, they must find a job, they care, so, and they don't care the most important. But you have this responsibility, and I think that you should continue to grow in this responsibility. And the same is for the lawyers and essentially for lay people. So you are probably someone spoke about Christi Fidelis Laici, mentioned Christi Fidelis Laici.
Yes.
And you have a big responsibility because with the words of the Second Vatican Council, you reach people where we, priest and bishop, we cannot reach people. And this is your responsibility. We cannot go everywhere because we have another responsibility. But you can reach people where just you can go. And this is very important. This is your task and your responsibility for new evangelization. So